Hello, Sula here from MistyHilltops.com. Thanks for stopping by. In this video, I want to show you how you can turn your traveler's notebook sketches or these templates that you can find or any other traveler's notebook page into a scrapbook layout that has any different size. Like you can turn them into a 6x6, into an 8x8, or a traditional 12x12 scrapbook layout, or even the letter size scrapbook layouts. It's very easily done with these templates, but obviously this applies to any other traveler's notebook inspiration page that you find and that you get inspired by. So here is what you can do. Now I have opened the latest one that I have been sharing on my blog, MistyHilltops.com. So this is template number 8, and so it's available as freebie. And so this is open, and what I do is I can simply copy the design part of it. I don't need all the surroundings. I can copy the design part of it, and then I can paste it into a new document. For example, here I created an 8x8 inch scrapbook layout, and I just placed them on this page. You can still move things around, like for example, let me just select this part. I deselect the background because I don't want the background to move. I still have this cluster here that I will leave there because that in the original template, that's where it was somewhere, and so I could move it in the corner. I could even move it all around the page if I wanted it to be in a different part. But if I wanted to keep the template or the layout close to the template, then I would put it somewhere here in the corner of this page. Now what I have done here is I haven't even resized anything at all. It is the exact original size. This cluster is the original size of my original sketch that I had here. And when I say sketch, I mean they're fully functional silhouette templates that you can use. But again, you can also just simply rebuild somebody else's traveler's notebook page that you see. We call that scrap lifting, so it's not really stealing, especially if you credit it when you post it somewhere in galleries or something. You credit it, and so it's all good. Now I want to show you how you can turn this into a full 12x12 scrapbook page. So what I do is, now I don't need to copy all the surroundings here, so I'm just going to copy or select the parts of the template. So I want to make sure I have this part, and then obviously this cluster. Now I don't really need the background, so I actually, in this case, I deselect and make sure I only have these two clusters. Then I copy, and I already opened a new document here that's just my 12x12. It's in Silhouette. Now you don't need to work with Silhouette Studio. You can just eyeball things. Obviously, if you just take the inspiration from other scrapbook pages or traveler's notebook pages, you can just eyeball it and rebuild the page. But because I am offering these freebie templates, obviously it's easy to use these templates, rebuild your page, and then as I have said in previous tutorials, you can either just use these to cut your digital papers, so you can clip your digital papers to them, or you can use the measurements, so everything is layered, and right now it's hidden behind, but I could just easily copy it out and put it somewhere where I can read it and I can see the measurements, and I could just either trim my papers from any paper pad to this size, or I could just use my Silhouette to cut an existing paper. Now here, some of these layers are actually crooked. They're not straight on there. That's why in the original template I add these are exactly the same shapes as you find here, but these are for angled objects in the sketch, so so that you don't have to put it back straight again. You can just use these same shapes here to to do your cuts if you want to work with the silhouette. So anyway, I want to go back to this page here to show you how you can then resize everything to work well on a 12 by 12 page. Now, obviously you could leave it at exactly this size, especially if you are the kind of white space scrapbooker. I like white space scrapbooking and to not fill up my page a lot, but you can still make it bigger if you want. So you could keep it just like it is and put this right here at the bottom somewhere, as we said, just eyeball it somewhere where you think it's pleasing. Now actually, when I say eyeballing, I recommend we go by the rule of thirds. This is a design feature or a design principle that puts the page in basically 9 squares: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then usually where the squares intersect, these are actually good spots to place things. So here I have placed it basically on the third line here and the third line here, and so this is following a design principle, obviously. Now if you say, no, I don't want to just put a small photo on my 12 by 12 page, I want to use more of my 12 by 12 size, then I would start by resizing the photo to make sure, like, whatever size photo you want to work with. For example, if you want to work with a 3 by 4 photo, and we will go up to 6 by 4, I will show you that. So let's do a 3 by 4. So which means I need to change this one to a 10 point. So I'm working with centimeters. I'm sorry. You can, if yours is set up for inches, I'm sure it's much easier for you to do. I had to do the math here and convert this. So now this obviously turns my photo around, which I was expecting. Not a big deal. I'm just gonna turn it again, and so this becomes a 3 by 4 photo. Let me just label it that way. It's a little slow right now. Maybe it's not going to pick it up. Doesn't matter. What I'm going to do now is I am going to select this whole part again, except for this huge photo that is now much bigger than all the rest of this cluster, and I'm going to deselect this photo, and I'm going to deselect that little labeling of that photo. So it doesn't matter with that one actually. Then well, it didn't grab it. Let me do it again. So I'm going to select the entire thing, then I'm going into this photo, and hopefully it will deselect, and I will deselect this. Yeah, here we go. And then I should be able to go into the corner here and simply resize everything except the photo to where it fits the photo again. Okay, so I'm just eyeballing it right now. I'm not even working with precise measurements. Now obviously this uses the angled objects, so if you wanted to have the straight objects still, I would recommend that you still also include those when you copy them, and then select them as you resize everything. Now here you see the photo is everything has suddenly become much bigger. Let me just check. I wanted to see where the photo ends. The photo ends in this green paper area here. So I will, we could technically then make the rest of this a little smaller. So again, I will, but you don't have to go exactly according to the template either. The template is just there to help you jumpstart your page, and then you can go from there and do whatever you want. So I'm just making sure the photo is deselected, and then I'm making it a tiny bit smaller. You see there's that little that little cross there for the embellishments. So I think that's where I'm, oh, it went too far. Don't go so far. Go back a little. Because I'm video recording, my computer works a lot slower than it usually would. Okay, so stay there. Now, I can still move the photo a little further down because I think I want it underneath this to actually still show this photo, this paper there, right? So here, I now have a resized template that works with a 12 by 12 and a 2 by 3, 4 by 3, 3 by 4 photo. I should really label it in the different, but I think it's not even a text element anymore. I think this is already converted. So anyway, this is a 3 by 4, so let me just delete this so it's out of the way. So it's a 3 by 4, and so this is how you can resize this page to a 3 by 4. And obviously you can still move things around a little if you want things to have look a little different. I always end up changing things, even if I work with my own, I scrap lift my own pages or do things with my own pages. It never ends up looking like the original, and that's intended because I don't want to just repeat myself. So now let me show you. I have not tried it, but I'm just going to check and see what happens if we turn this into a 4 by 6 photo. So let's, again, I'm opening a new document, a new canvas, and then I am just simply copying and pasting this into a new canvas here. So again, I start with a photo because it's the photos that we usually, either we send them to a print shop and then we get them in specific sizes that we can't really play with, or for my part, I print them at home, but I print them on A4 paper, and I want to maximize my photo paper because I'm actually using photo paper. I don't want to waste good photo paper, so I want to maximize my A4 size. So I'm starting with a photo layout or a photo size that works with my printing. So I then build the layout around the photo. This is what I'm saying. So let me turn this into a 6 by 4. So this is the 4-inch, and here it would be something like 15 point. Let me just make sure it starts with the whole 15 point. I think it's 2.4 or something. Close. All right. I guess I have to again turn it around, and maybe it may not look well because it might be too big. I haven't tried it yet. Obviously you can use any size in between these photo sizes. Again, I'm selecting the whole thing, then deselecting the photo layer, and then I will see. So it's still here, this photo layer is still selected. So let me make sure it's, oh no, it's here, it's this one. Okay, so it's deselected right now. I can't see it well because I didn't outline it, but that's fine. So now I resize this whole thing again to see how does it work on a, yeah, I think it still does what we want it to do. So I'm just eyeballing it right now again. Again, these papers, they can be handled flexibly. So I would again want to make sure it's sitting within this paper, so the paper shows here as well. But then I would want this to go all the way here. So again, I am selecting this a little more, deselecting this photo layer. It's here where I pay attention to, and then I just make it slightly bigger. And I think that's where about the size I want. Now you see it goes up here, and that's fine. That's what I was somewhat expecting with a cluster of this size. And so here I put the photo, I move the photo a little, and then I just what I do is I move the entire thing, and in this case I'm actually gonna, like, you could put it on the side of the page, you could put it center, and probably, so let me put it, I think I liked it on the side of the page here. So suddenly my once traveler's notebook page has now turned into a nice big 12 by 12 layout size, and I think I want to adjust this one as well to somehow not get completely lost with the big cluster here. So this one should still show as a nice cluster. So here I have a 12 by 12 from what once was a traveler's notebook sketch, meant for a traveler's notebook. I have that turned into a 12 by 12 page. It could be turned into a 8 by 8 scrapbook layout, and here I was starting to work on a page, and here it could be a 6 by 6. So again, the 6 by 6 is similar to the 12 by 12 in that it will, without resizing it, it's still the 2 by 3 size photo. So without the resizing of it, it still fills out pretty much most of the page. It's basically in proportion, because I resize the photo, it's in proportion to this 12 by 12 when we use the measurements with the 2 by 3 inches or 4 by 6 inches. So it's just double the size, right? So let me find this again. And then because I like to work, I could have put this cluster right here, but I like to work with double page spreads, so I thought maybe I could put this cluster over here. Again, this is how you can very easily turn a traveler's notebook sketch into a scrapbook layout of any size that fits your needs. And obviously now I haven't showed you how to do this with a letter size page, because I know there are some scrappers that are letter size scrappers, but I think you get the idea, and I think you can easily then turn this into a letter size layout without me having to demonstrate that here. Okay, so this is the 12 by 12, this is the 8 by 8, and this is a 6 by 12, 6 by 6 layout using that same template. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this was helpful for you in your scrapping. Please give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy this video, if you found it useful. Consider subscribing, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.